Okay. Hello. My name is Adele Bodog, and this is my show, Daily LX. So as you all know, Daily LX is usually radio Tuesdays at 9 p.m. But today I decided to take it to Duke TV and talk to you guys about what it feels like being a black woman at a predominantly white institution. So today I have a couple of my friends that came on and speak with me to talk about issues such as dating, campus life, academics, and enrollment to give you a real inside scope on what it feels like being black at a predominantly white institution. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Bailey Anderson. I'm a sophomore in the business school, and I will be graduating in 2019.
Hi, I'm Mariah. I'm a sophomore in Ringo School of Health Sciences, and I'm an occupational therapy major.
All right, Bailey and Mariah. Okay, so what we're going to be discussing is kind of like the enrollment process, why you picked Duquesne, right? Mm-hmm. So why, of all the schools did you apply, like what schools did you apply to?
I applied to North Carolina A&T, Clark, Akron, University of Maryland, Howard.
Really? University of College Park?
Yeah.
I applied there too.
And I went to Carlo my first year, and then I transferred here. Mm-hmm. So I chose it solely because it was so close and because of the education.
Okay.
Right. I applied to St. Louis here, somewhere in New York, SUNY Buffalo. Mm-hmm. I applied to one HBCU, Spelman, Ohio State, basically every school in Ohio. And I chose Duquesne because of the occupational therapy program. It's dual degree, so I get my master's in 5 years.
Okay. So what did you think your experience was going to be like coming to Duquesne?
I thought it was going to be like my high school experience.
Okay.
Because I went to a predominantly white high school. So I wasn't worried about like a hard transition or anything. So.
I feel like it was going to be a lot of white people. I went to a school where it was like 60-40, 60 black, 40 white. And when I went to Carlo, it was kind of mixed, a lot of white people still, but there's a lot of my friends were black, so it's kind of like the same thing except boys.
Okay. Well, that's the same for me too. I went to PWI high school, but my middle school, the minority were white people. There's probably like 12 white people in my whole middle school. It was wild. Okay, so how did you think coming to PWI, Duquesne, would benefit you, and has it done what you thought it was going to do?
I feel like, I don't know, like I said, I came from a predominantly white school, so it was kind of just like, oh, I feel like it's going to be the same. I knew I was going to get a good education at Duquesne. I've been told that the occupational therapy program is like top in the country, so I knew I was going to get a good education.
I feel like Duquesne was, educationally, was going to be great for me. Experience-wise, horrible, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
You really thought it was going to be horrible?
Yeah.
Wow,
like
okay.
5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know. I think it's good for me because it shows me the real world. Because in reality, at a HBCU, that's not what the real world is unless you're in like Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So would you say that you're comfortable here? I don't think, based on what you said, you don't think you were. But would you say that you're comfortable on campus?
I do, but in my classes, I don't have any other black students. I think in the occupational therapy program, there's like 2 throughout freshman to senior, so it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of awkward sometimes being in class. Yeah, nobody really understands what I go through. I don't really like that.
Okay.
I would say I'm getting comfortable. My first week here was probably the hardest week as to like culture and stuff.
Really?
Like, of my life. Yeah, I've never truly felt like a minority until I came here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was hard for me, but now I'm getting more comfortable. And in my classes, there's not a lot of black people. There's I have African American art, and it's still like 40-60, which is like 40% black people, and the rest are like different people, which is better than most of my classes because usually it's like I'm one of like 4 at most.
So what was your first experience where you realized that you were like a minority at school?
As soon as I moved in.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
As soon as I moved in, like stepped foot on the campus, and I moved into Assumption. It was
automatic.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Okay. So did you think that what you were taught in high school prepared you for college? Like, did you think that once you arrived, like your freshman year, you were on the same level as like maybe like your white counterparts, like your other students there?
I definitely feel so. Like I went to like a college prep school, so it was like really easy transition for me. I don't know. I felt prepared. So.
Did you?
I feel like my mindset, my school didn't help me. Me as an individual and how I was raised helped me more so because my school, was lower ranked. So if you wanted to do well, you had to show that you could do well.
Yeah.
Or you just be in regular classes. So it was more so me advancing and stuff. I didn't take a lot of AP classes. I had like one or two. So it's not really like preparing you a lot.
So did you feel like when you were in classes, like other students knew things that you're like, well, I don't really know what that is yet, or like I'm not really sure, like your freshman year?
Yeah, I still feel like that a little bit, but I'm not going to show it.
Yeah, definitely. No, don't let them know.
My name is Miriam. I'm a public relations major, and I'm a junior here at Duquesne.
My name is Lachey. I'm a pharmacy major, and I'm a sophomore.
Okay, Lachey and Miriam. All right. So do you think the white people on campus have an advantage over you, or do you think that you have the advantage? Funny story, sorry. I always realize, since I'm usually the only black girl in my class, when I skip class, my teacher always knows. Like, they always know. Oh, missed you in class. So, yeah, I think that the white people have the advantage over stuff like that. But what were you going to say?
I agree. I do think white people have the advantage on campus. Yeah, I just see it.
Well, maybe this is not like on campus, but like maybe like applying to certain positions, they need diversity, so you have an advantage in that sense. But yeah.
But how do you feel about, there are some like white people that think that because we have that advantage, it means that we don't really like rightfully like deserve those positions, So it's like, work twice as hard for half of what they have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a different level. Then again, though, don't you think the whole white privilege thing plays into part? Because even if they need diversity, it's like they see your name on a paper and it just sounds black,
Yeah.
Difference. Okay. Yeah. So what was it like going to a PWI after the election? I wasn't in America, so all I could say is like I stayed in my room for like 2 days. I was crying, so I don't really know what it was like seeing a lot of people that weren't black after that happened. But how did you guys feel on campus?
I remember there were a lot of, well, not here, but like at Pitt, there were protests. And I remember I stayed up so late, and I was so upset that I didn't want to go to class, but I had to because I had to turn in an assignment. But I had like 3 classes that day, and I only went to that one. I just didn't want to go. And then you just like looking at, the white people on campus, and you're like, did you vote for him? You don't know. You just didn't
Did you see
know.
any Make America Great Again hats?
Not immediately that day, but people came out the woodworks in support of him, so that says a lot.
I've said this before, like I noticed the atmosphere was just different after that day, like just completely different. And walking like throughout campus, like Shay said, like whenever I saw a white person, I was like, ooh. I was like, I don't
Like
trust you.
conflict.
I was like, I don't trust you. A few days after the election, then I started seeing people wearing their Make America Great Again hats. And I would like get heated. Like I honestly would get angry just like looking at that hat. And I just felt kind of like, I feel like it was like us against them.
Understandable. So when it comes to communicating with people like after the election, how do you think your teachers handled that? Like, do you think your teachers talked about it?
No,
Not at all?
They refuse. They don't want to get into politics.
I know some teachers that get into politics.
Some teachers do get into politics, like they'll speak on it, but they won't. No one's gonna outright, express an opinion or anything like that. Like, it might get brought up in discussion, but people they're too. I feel like they're too scared just because of the different opinions. But I mean, if you can defend it,
You might as well speak it. Yeah,
there's no reason for you to
should never be
be
ashamed
ashamed of your opinion, why you voted for someone or anything like that.
I agree.
So.
I agree. Okay, so do you feel welcome by cultural organizations on campus? You do?
Yeah, I
so what
do.
group, like, clubs are you a part of?
So, like freshman and sophomore year, I didn't do any clubs or any organizations. And then when I started realizing the effects of going to PWI and being black, I was like, I need to go to clubs. So I joined like International Student Organization. I joined the Union of African Students. Like these were things that I was like already like technically a part of by default because of like they knew my information before I came to Duquesne, but I never went to any of the events. And I started going. I felt way better about it, like way more included.
Like a comfort,
yes,
you know?
Yes.
I was actually told by my college counselor in high school, and he said, like, we are the parts, like, when you think of, like, a revolution started, like, being started or whatever, you think of the small people that implemented, like, a different way of doing things, that kind of, where I was talking to you about that were kind of, like, the first start to a bigger picture. And, like, being black at, like, a PWI and going to events and, like, participating in events, like, spreading the word and getting more people to come, you're, like, playing a small role in this huge thing about expanding the campus, like, culturally.
Yeah, just like with every year, like the minority population getting bigger and bigger. Like, I think last year we were the biggest, and then the year after, like this year, they were the biggest. So it's kind of like we kind of have to pave a way, you know, for
balance it out.
Yeah, for people to come.
So, do you wish that you guys would have gone to an HBCU? Or a school with maybe more black people, not like an HBCU, but like.
So I, at this point right now, like junior year, I'm like, I would feel more comfortable at an HBCU or something way more diverse than Duquesne. Where I'm from is incredibly diverse, like so diverse, right outside DC. Yeah, Maryland, right outside DC.
DMV.
And so I was used to diversity, and then I came here, and I was like, so now, like year 3, I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Like I don't.
Shay?
Yeah, I think after a while it does take a toll on you, because when I first came here, it was a culture shock because I came from a predominantly black high school, but being here and being around black people, it wasn't that bad. But I know that next year things will be different because I'll be entering the graduate, like the professional program of the pharmacy school. So I know that all of my classes, the people that I'll be studying with will be mostly white. So I don't know how this.
My name is Nadia Oliver, and I'm a middle level education major, and I am a sophomore.
My name is Lachey Gordon-Strickland. I'm a pharmacy major here at Duquesne, and I'll be graduating in 2020.
Okay, so how do you guys feel about student life on campus?
Student life is segregated on campus because, like, the pharmacy school is, like, basically all white, just like the school, but, like, I don't eat with them, I don't hang out with them, I don't
Any of your
party
classmates?
with them, no.
You don't go to parties with them?
No.
Who do you go to parties with?
My black friends,
Really? You don't go to parties with anybody that's not black?
no.
Wow, what about you?
Well, yeah, so I feel the same way. I only go out with like black friends, and because when you go to a white party, it's like you would feel weird there. There's no black people there for you to.
What's the music like?
The music is not like a regular black party.
Okay.
They don't play the Chief Keef or the Kodak, so I just.
Yes, they do, but they don't rap it on beat.
They don't exactly. It's weird. It's a weird type of Kodak and Chief. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like regarding like Greek life and stuff like that, do you guys think that the Greek life community on campus is like prevalent with black fraternities and sororities? Like how many black sororities do we have on Duquesne's campus?
One.
One? Sororities or fraternities?
It's one fraternity that's a part of the Divine Nine, but like every other Greek life organization is.
And how does that make you guys feel?
Horrible.
Really?
That's one reason why I didn't want to go here, because they didn't have like that type of Greek life that you see at a HBCU. So I felt like, well, all these other fraternities, I wouldn't feel welcome to want to be in it. I'm missing out on connections that I could have had at a HBCU, because that's one reason why I would be in a sorority, but I don't feel welcome.
And you wouldn't go to any of the other sororities that with predominantly white students?
No.
I
Why
don't feel
not?
like they're just not inclusive to me. Yeah, they're just. I would feel out of place, just like I feel out of place in my classes when I go to their parties, or I would just not feel.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so regarding, you brought up HBCUs. So regarding like a PWI is predominantly white institution versus an HBCU, historically black college or university, I think that's what it is. Just need to get the CU part. Okay, so regarding the differences between those, stuff like homecoming and basketball games, like do you think there's a difference, like a different level of comfort between like athletic stuff and like campus activities versus like a PWI and an HBCU?
No.
There's no difference?
No, only because I think it's just like the size of the school.
You really think so?
I
So
think
why
there's
did
a
everyone want to go to
difference.
Howard homecoming?
Yeah, I think there's a difference, because when it comes to homecoming here at Duquesne, it's like so different from an HBCU. HBCU, there's like rappers who come up, and there's like, I don't know, it's just really a different type of environment.
That was like, I was really referring to like athletic events.
Okay.
But I think that's just the size of the school. But if you're talking about like homecomings and like events that HBCUs, like they usually throw in, they're like way better than, yeah, it's a difference just because they're black.
It's a different vibe. It's more lively.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
No, not that it's more lively, it's just about where you would fit in. And like if a white person went to an HBCU homecoming, they probably wouldn't like it, just like I don't like being here at our homecoming. You know, it's not like it's more lively. People probably love Duquesne's homecoming.
What's homecoming like? I've never been to homecoming here. I've gone home
I don't
every
even know what our
weekend.
homecoming is
There's
like.
no
They
Don't they
actually
play a
have a
football game?
homecoming week.
I know there is, but, like, there's
but no
nothing.
one knows about it
They
because
have,
it's
like-
like they don't do nothing.
They had like a Back to the Future week or something last
Yeah.
year. I remember that, but I've never been here at homecoming. So you guys just don't do that.
no.
No.
Interesting.
We did go out freshman year.
Okay, that's the end of that shot, I think. Is that how I announce the end?
My name's Sarah Gathers. I'm a sophomore corporate communications major.
All right, Sarah and Nadia, nice to have you guys here. So, first question, do you think that you are getting a culturally relevant education at Duquesne? Do you think issues are being properly addressed in your classes, like history, slavery, African American history?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Which classes are you taking? Like history? You don't think that they talk enough? Have you taken like an American history course?
I've taken it was this one class, it was called like the social injustices and visual arts or something like that. And that one was really interesting, and it had like a wide scope of, you know, African American history and like the role that like blacks played in like photography and exposing, you know, things about civil rights and things like that. But other than that, no.
I had history classes where we talked about the African American history. I had two actually, and it's interesting when they bring it up because it's like they have so much information about it. Like the teachers, they know so much about it, but it's like when they ask a question or the kids answer a question about the African American history, I don't know how to explain. Like it puts me in a weird position because like I don't know if someone's going to say something like that's off the wall or that's wrong.
And
it's
you
like
have to defend your
and I'm like
culture.
the only black person in the class to defend myself. I'm in this social justice class for my in educational settings. So we've been talking about race actually this Monday, yesterday. So we were talking about race, and like when I walked into the class, the teachers, like I wasn't going to go to class, and it's when I came in late. The teacher said, "I'm so glad you made it."
Really?
Yes, because like she know that she wanted a
Too
black,
much.
exactly
Too much.
So it's just
I took an African studies class last semester, and I was, you know, my parents are Cameroonian, and then my friend, she's Togolese, and like the whole time through, all of these ignorant people in Africa don't have running water, and they're not smart. Like they don't have the academics we have, and I would always have to be constantly getting into these arguments with these ignorant girls over and over. I'm like, there are people in Africa that are smarter than you, getting a better education than you. It was this whole thing, but you have to defend your culture all the time, you know, as a black person, as an African. Okay, so I was speaking to Sarah about this just before. So I don't know if you guys have heard, there are a lot of things like on social media about how they feel like African American history courses should be mandatory, like a prerequisite for people applying as like people in school, for like all students, just so they have like knowledge of all of that. Do you guys think that that would be something that should be implemented?
I feel like it would have to depend on, there would have to be some sort of standard, almost like all of them, because if you just have like some white person teaching what they deem to be African American history,
Heart of Darkness.
exactly, or you know, just teach off the basis of like, you know, To Kill a Mockingbird or whatever, and like not really span over the scope of things, you know, I feel like there's too many negative sides that people can harp on that would make it. That would then, you know, you go into college and you're around black people and it's like, oh, like I bet you know, her mom's like addicted to crack and like she doesn't have a father, or like they were raised poor, or maybe like she's a first generation college kid. I feel like it would be too many negative things and it wouldn't harp on like all the great stuff that is in our history and all the groundbreaking things that we did.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it
You agree?
depends on the type of curriculum they give, because they could give a whole different point of view, like the teacher they have as well. Like it could be.
That's very true. So do you think something that's something that you think Duquesne would run appropriately, like maybe a mandatory African American history class?
Do I think they'll run it?
Yeah. Do you think that they would have a great class like that would be, everything would be spoken on appropriately?
If we get the right teacher.
Yeah.
Dr. Budu, he's a great teacher. Okay, so I have a question about diversity. Do you think that diversity at Duquesne has improved for your first semester here, your freshman year, compared to now?
No.
Really?
No.
I think it has.
Why?
I feel like I see a lot of black people now. Before it'd be like, I feel like I see a lot. I think.
But do you really communicate with them though? Do you
No,
see them
I mean,
in your classes?
Do I okay, yeah, I don't see them. I don't know where they are. They're just around, but I never see
like
them.
that's what I'm saying though. Like I know, and I hear, oh yeah, we got these new black people or whatever. I was just telling them over there, I was like, how are they doing this to where I'm still the only black female in every
That's
class?
so
Because
good.
I
Think
know
about it
there's
like
many
that.
of us here. but I still don't see any of them, you know?
They definitely pop out of the blue.
Yeah. You have to like purposely put yourself in a position to be around us.
Like NAACP.
Right. You have to seek us out in order to see us, because otherwise you're not going to see us.
That's so interesting because I'm still the only black person in my class and I see black people everywhere.
Exactly.
All on AWOL,
It's like, I know y'all are
football
here.
field. Yeah, but
I
where
know
are
y'all
you?
here.
What majors
Yep.
are they in?
Right?
Are they in your major?
No, I don't know.
I don't have none in my
I really
major.
don't know.
Not in my
And see,
major.
everybody thinks that they're the only one. I went up, I was in the library with Miriam, and there was this black guy in there. I was like, have you seen him before? And she was like, no. I was like, I've never seen him before. And it's so rare to see like black people you haven't already seen before.
Exactly,
So I went up,
yeah.
introduced myself or whatever. Turns out he's he's a junior in nursing.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he was just like, yeah, you know, I'm the only black guy in there. I was like, what? I said, no, Zach is. I was like, Zach probably doesn't know about you. And he was like, what?
That's so weird
And then
to me.
I went to go talk to Zach about it, and he was like, oh, was it so-and-so? I was like, no, this is somebody else. And he was like, what?
That's
There's a
crazy.
third one?
Right.
You know, like they really thought that was it, you know?
Sandra and I saw a new black guy today on campus. I'm like, where did you come from? Like, I've never seen you before. Coming out of the community lodge. It's like, these people are coming out of, not these people, but like, he's coming out of nowhere. Like, I don't see you in class. Like, where are you?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Duquesne is about 80% white. So how do you feel when looking for a partner on campus? I mean, are you guys interested in black men? Okay.
I'm interested in black men. That is the first person I'm going to look at. But
Okay.
apparently, to these black men, that's not the first thing they look at.
Ooh.
So I've got personal stories of how the boys here want submissive white women, and that's what they look for, so they could do anything for them. And I'm not for it. So yeah, it's hard to find a mate here when that's what they look for.
A mate. Okay.
Yeah. So here you go.
What were you thinking?
Okay, well, I was just going to say that, you know, I mean, the goal is to marry a black man and have tons of like chocolate children. Absolutely. And I know for me coming in to college, it was so weird because, you know, all of my black female friends were like, yeah, I'm going to find me a black man and, you know, we're going to have black love or whatever. And then, you know, reality hit them and they're like, oh, why aren't they talking to us? What's going on?
Where's the black love?
And, you know, for me, I had grown accustomed to seeing that so much where black men only are attracted to white women or anything non-black. And,
Whoa.
and, you know, for them, I was like, oh, so y'all aren't used to this. Like, I wasn't ready. Like, y'all didn't know what was already going to happen, you know, because I feel like with this extra terrain of freedom, they're just like, oh.
Trying everything out
Right.
before I settle with my black woman in 5 years.
Exactly. And that's if they like actually want to work for something, if they don't get too accustomed to, you know, just getting anybody that they want in bed.
So do you think that women that aren't black are easier to manipulate, and that's why some black men want to be with them? Because as black women, we're always taught to like defend our own and defend ourselves and respect ourselves. You think that's the difference?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Black men will tell you.
Did you see that Dolphins football player who wrote like the reason black men don't want y'all is because y'all do too much, and you're always defending it. Like he wrote this whole thing, and everyone's like, I mean, that's why, you know.
And everybody, I think that was stupid though, because like they don't realize that like once you gain our trust, once you actually work for our affection and not like expect us to just kiss the ground that you walk on, we'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
Like we got you, you know? But they don't ever get it to that point.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not like that from day one, from the second that they express, you know, any sort of affection towards you, then you're out. Like you're cut.
I just think it's interesting that it's like the guys are attracted to black women. They'll like look at us and be like, ooh, who's that? Like, I don't think any of us had a problem with like a guy coming up to us and stuff. They're just not serious about it in the long run. I think that's the main issue.
Very true.
You know, it's
I like
weird.
that. They're not serious about it.
Exactly.
It's not like you don't get attention. You get
Right.
Hey you in towers. You
Exactly.
Know? You're noticed. It's just it's a hey you, but not a, like let me take you out. It's
Right.
like a hey you.
They're very
Are
childish.
you in your room? Are you up?
Yep. It's crazy.
No, I agree with everything they said. Like, they'll notice you, but they won't want you like they want a white woman or like a Hispanic woman or anything like that. And I think it's because they know how independent we are, and we know what we want. The other girls don't, so they know they can manipulate them. That's all it is.
And what's really interesting to me is the fact that it's a lot of black men with, like, let's say white women, mixed women, but I don't know one black woman that's dating a white man on campus that I know of. Like, I just don't see it as much. Why is that? If they're switching up, why don't we switch up?
I personally have seen black women they may have been mixed because they were lighter, but I've seen black women with white men. Usually who they hang around are white people though.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
true.
that's part of it, and they could be multicultural. So I think that's another part of it. But me personally, I'm not attracted to them as much as I am to a black man. And that's how I was raised. My father is black. I'm going to have black kids, and I want chocolate babies at that. So I won't switch up to them because that's just not what I want. They want that. I don't think it's so much the appearance. I think it's that they could get what they want. Because at the end of the day, I do think most of the men think that the black women are the most beautiful, in my opinion. But they're not going to say that. Because that's not what they're looking for right now. They're looking for something easy.
And you know what's interesting about that is that the black men say, yeah, I'm looking for something easy. And if I were a white woman, that's so offensive to me. I'm easy. Like, I would never date a black man if I were white because a black man is automatically speaking to me because he thinks I'm easier to get with. But I don't see any white women holding themselves back from black men, knowing that the black men just want to be with them because of sexual reasons. Is it a fetish?
It looks cool.
Okay, so to the first point, the fact that that like it's not reverse. You know, there is one couple that I know of, Ricky. Do you know Ricky?
Yeah, I know
Ricky
Ricky
Murphy.
That's what I was thinking of when I thought of the one black woman with the
yeah.
white man. Yeah.
So you know, she dates her dude. I think his name's Adam, and they are so cute. And Adam is so great. He's one of like the two white males who are constantly
Woke.
involved. And like properly woke.
Yeah.
Who are constantly involved with like OMA programs or ODI programs all the time, and understand that they are the oppressors. So you have to have a mentality like that in order to be with us, because Ricky is like for the people.
Yeah.
She's awesome, and but you have to be like that in order to date us, and that's the case because many white males are not like that, or they're too scared, or they just don't see us, or whatever the case may be. So and then white women not being bothered, only being approached because of like sexual desire, and Miriam said, fetish, and like that is so real. And like the flip side of that is that like black men know that they're being fetishized, but at the same time they still don't care.
It's jungle fever. Like, oh, girls say, I have jungle fever. It's like, are you an animal? Like, what is jungle fever?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you okay with that? That's just a weird relationship. Like, as a white woman, why are you okay with the guy doing that to you? As a black man, why are you okay with the girl doing that to you? It just doesn't make any sense. But not all couples are like that, though. There are some, I just haven't really seen a lot of interracial couples that have, like, great intentions, and it's just, like, race aside, they love each other. So, I don't really know. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, like, for the couples that are serious and it's not just, like, a shallow relationship of, like, a white girl, black guy, and there's, like, a fetishization, like, you can tell the difference by who the girls hang out with. Like, if they're only hanging out with their white friends, they're not real.
Yeah.
Like, they're not about it. Their parents probably don't even want them to be with a black guy. You know what I mean? So, like, they're just doing it for that sole aspect of, like, I'm getting the attention from
Kim
a black
and
guy.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Mixed babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Sandra was saying something interesting today. She was like, oh, a lot of people just do it for like social media. Like they think
Very
it looks
true. That's what I
cool.
said, yeah.
So I know, I see that a lot. Like I see certain couples and I'm like, wow, you just like post them like every 2 seconds. Like, oh, look at him, look at me, I'm obsessed. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.